Now our interpretive design for February the 14th for Valentine's Day is this gorgeous heart-shaped arrangement. So we're coming up to Valentine's Day and I thought I would do an interpretive design using these wooden hearts. Now this was originally part of a wall hanging. They were joined together and they would rotate quite freely, moving in the wind. And I've decided that I'm going to take them apart and use them in my floral arrangement. Now I have this square melamine base and it's just got 2/3 of a block of foam, and I've taped this one into place. I've got some quite large leaves to use and I know that I'm going to be able to hide my floral foam by the end of the arrangement. So my first heart, and this is the smaller one, probably about 12 inches in height, I would guess. That one just has that simple stem, strong stem inserted into the bottom. That's going to sit at the front of my arrangement. And I'm just going to push the base of the heart into the floral foam as well, because it's going to give me some extra stability. And then what I've done with a larger ring, I've added 2 points of wire on the end, and I'll show you a close-up version of that so you can see how I've done it. I could have glued some kebab sticks onto the back, or I could have drilled some holes in the bottom, but for ease today, to do something quick, I've just secured that with 2 sections of strong wire, and that's just florist wire. And what I want to do here is not have them perfectly matching. So I've got one offset. I'm going to slightly move this one over, and then we've got the taller one at the back and the shorter one there at the front, and I've got some space in between for my flowers, and that's my basic shape already started. Now I'm also going to give the heart at the back some extra support. These are just kebab sticks, but that's going to give me some extra strength at the back so that my heart doesn't tip forward when I'm turning it around, and hopefully that's going to stay in position. Otherwise I might have to come up with plan B, but I'm hoping they're going to stay really securely in position. Now we have this lovely shape with the heart. Now I don't want to lose the shape of the heart, so I don't want to decorate all the back with lots of foliage, and I don't want to bring too much all through the middle, which is going to be quite confusing. I'm going to see if I can echo the shape of the heart. And I have some broom. Now this is Genista or broom. This one has come here from my own garden, so something that I do have available. But again, we're trying to find something with a curve shape to it. So it's going to repeat the shape of my heart. Rosemary would work quite well here if you had rosemary in the garden. And I'm just going to use that on the edge to create that lovely outline shape. So this design is an interpretive design. So if you think back, I've previously done one for Burns Night and I did another one for Chinese New Year. So rather than me teaching you a particular shape, like a triangle or a long and low arrangement, this is more about interpreting a feeling or a mood, or representing a particular season or a time of the year. And for me, we're trying to portray some love for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to come off the other side, very much like a crescent. So we're following that shape of the heart through from one side to the other. And I'm going to add some smaller pieces then of the garden broom, just so that we've got a link from one side to the other. And this happens to be curved really nicely, so this is going to work really well. Now I've gone with a bit more of a tropical selection of foliage this week. We've looked at a couple of weeks where we've used locally grown foliage, or foliage that you would be able to get here in the UK. This time I've gone with something a bit more interesting, and I've got a fabulous cordyline, and this has that wonderful pink tone to it. So that's going to pick up on the colouring on my ribbon here at the top, and it's also an indication of the colour choice that I'm going to be using today. Now this is what we call a Rapis palm. Fabulous frondy type leaf, gorgeous tropical plant material. And then I've also got some what we florists called Aralia, but you might be familiar with it as Fatsia japonica. And again, it's that lovely palmate shaped leaf. And because they're quite big and bold, they're not going to detract away from the shape of my heart at the back. They're not going to become over fussy and too cluttered. And I'm going to start by just putting in some foliage, and then we can fill in with the flowers as we go along. Now, I don't want to hide my lovely shaped broom, so I'm going to use two of these together grouped at the front. Now, I'm taking a more modern approach to the arranging in this design, and rather than equally spreading them out so we get a symmetrical design, I'm going with groupings. So you'll see that I've grouped the two pieces of the Fatsia there together, and then I'm going to bring one towards the back. So we have what we call asymmetrical balance. So the weight of these two is heavier than the weight of this one at the back there. And then I'm going to introduce this lovely pink leaf. And if you look at it straight on, it's a quite broad and a very dominant leaf. So what I'm going to actually do is turn it on its side, and then you get the elegant shape of the leaf rather than that very dominant flat shape. And I'm going to use this to one side. Again, I don't want to hide that heart frame, but I need to emphasize the shape that I'm trying to create. So this one needs to be a bit smaller to come on the opposite side. So I've just trimmed down the base, so the stem there on the bottom isn't quite so thick. And I'm going to bring that in on the opposite side. So if I turn that around, the leaves now aren't as dominant as if I put them in facing forward in this sort of position here. By angling them sideways, they become less obtrusive and they blend in more to my floral design. Then to help me bring some of the pinky red tones to the bottom, I'm going to fold the leaf over. I'm going to roll it so that my stem pokes through the centre of the leaf, and I get that sort of shape instead. So we don't get that broad flat leaf again. That's going to be much better at the front. It's still going to cover my floral foam, but I'm not going to get that really big flat leaf there, which is almost like a pair of flappy wings. So if I show you this one, if I place this at the bottom, I get that long, broad shape, which is going to make my eye travel away from the design, and it becomes visually quite dominant. And what I'm going to do with this one is place it more here in the middle. And again, it's helping to bring a link of colour through, but I'm not hiding these beautiful wooden hearts that are at the top. Right, so let's see where we are now with foliage and where we need to position one next. So I'm going to use another one of the cordyline, and I'm going to use the warmth of my hand up and down the midrib to try and get it to curve a little more, because I feel beautiful shape on that one. That's worked really well. I feel this side needs another leaf there. So again, I've got more leaves on this side to this side, but because it's a more contemporary design and it's not following those traditional rules, we can get away with putting them unbalanced on either side. And then next, my lovely frondy Rapis palm is going to come on to my right hand side, and we're going to group these together as well so that we get lovely contrast in textures and colours of the material. And even though it's not heart shaped, it's still a roundish shape, replicating the shape of my hearts there at the back. And then we're going to slot that one in more towards the front. Now hopefully we've got a lovely outline shape created, and I haven't got to worry about the heart being completely covered in foliage and being lost, and then our interpretation is completely lost. I'm just going to introduce the florist leather leaf, so this really pretty little leaf. This is going to do a really good job of hiding the back. It's going to be a front facing design, so nobody's going to see these pieces at the back, and it's going to cover my foam and make the design really neat. Let's just get those in. Now, I do often say in a tutorial that the camera angle is slightly different from the position I'm viewing the arrangement at. So you might see bits of floral foam. I'm looking down on it, whereas you're looking across. So there might be areas of foam that I haven't hidden as well as I should do. Right, okay, so we've got that beautiful outline shape in there. Now I'm going to start introducing some flowers. And you might have seen the rose before because we used this in a triangle arrangement we did a few weeks ago when we were looking back at the basic designs. Now I have almost a sort of clashing colour combination because I didn't want to go with the very traditional red roses. This is a peachy pink colour. It's quite a hard colour to describe, but I really liked it with the lilac snapdragons or the lilac antirrhinums. So maybe not everybody's cup of tea, but again, I thought it went really well with my cordyline leaf. And again, I just thought it would be a bit different from your normal Valentine's Day arrangement. So what I'm going to try and do with my antirrhinums is follow from one side through to the other, making sure again that I don't block and I don't hide the hearts. So I'm keeping either side and almost going around the outside there of the heart. And we'll just place this one in on the opposite side. Now you'll see that I've got the pink colour in on this side and I'm going to try and work it through so it comes through onto the opposite side as well. If I turn it all the way around, you can still see all those fabulous textures and those fabulous colours of all the different types of foliage. Now, the true season for a snapdragon is in the spring, but we now have them pretty much all year round. And this one I thought was a gorgeous colour. It's something I haven't seen many times before. And you've heard me talk about this Very Peri, which is the Pantone colour of the year. And I think this would fall under that category really well. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 of them. And I've tried to evenly spread them out. I'm making sure, again, I've still got a profile to the design, so it's not flat at the front. And I got that fabulous colour link coming, swooping through from one side to the other. And I'm not, again, losing those hearts. Now, my beautiful roses have been cut down shorter because I have used them in one video before. But I love this colour combination and thought it would be worthwhile reusing the flowers to show you 2 different designs that you could do with the same flowers. So because I'm a bit restricted with the length of the stem, these flower types are going to have to stick in the focal point. And we'll just place a few in first. And it's not that I just love this colour combination. It might not be for everybody, but I think that's just really wonderful. And something I would love to have on Valentine's Day. Hope my husband's taking note. The colour works so well together. I'm hoping it's really picked up on the camera. The pink is really wonderful. It's such an unusual shade. And both of these are supermarket flowers. So if you're in the UK, you should be able to pick up this rose in your local Tesco. If not, you can order it in from your florist shop. It's very similar to a rose that we use called Miss Piggy, but it's slightly lighter in its shade. And if I can find out the variety name, I'll link it in the comment box below or in the description box below. But it's just, I really like this one. It's really lovely. So I've just brought a little bit of the pink colour in. I'm not quite sure if you can pick that one up through towards the back. Again, I'm making sure that we've got some weight to the back as well, so that your eye is travelling all the way through. Now I have 10 of the roses, so I might as well use them all up. I'm going to tuck some in on the side here, so we get colour in on the side as well. And I mentioned in the very beginning that it's, as a commercial florist, this probably isn't a type of design that I would maybe deliver to somebody, because the hearts, you'd have to make sure that the hearts were really secure in the arrangement. But it is something that would look fantastic maybe on your shop window. Okay, so we've just added 2 in at the side there. I've got 1 left, and I'm thinking we're going to add it, tuck it underneath where this large rose is, just underneath there. And I think I'm pretty much done. I'm really loving this one. I think this is going to be my favourite. We're only in January, but I think that's my favourite so far this year. I really love that. Now, I think that's worked out really well. I'm really pleased with that design. Now, a few weeks ago, we did a design where I added a bottle of wine in at the ends as a gift for somebody. And this time I thought I would show you how you could introduce a box of chocolates into a design. Now, I'm going to remove just this one rose at the back so that I can get some space to put my chocolates in. And I've got one of these chocolates here that I sell in the shop. So it's just your ordinary box of chocolate. And what I've done on the back, and I've done it with brown packing tape so it shows up more on the camera. But again, I've just used 2 stalks. So these are pussy willow stems. It could be kebab skewers, any nice strong stem. And I've used the packing tape to stick the stems to the back of the box. So you could use sellotape, which would be more attractive. The packing tape shows up much better on the camera. And what I'm going to do is insert these 2 stems here into the foam, and I'm going to arrange it towards the back. Now again, if I was doing this for a customer, I would probably put the box of chocolates in first, but it's just nice sometimes to see different ways of creating flower arrangements. So I've just taken out one of the snapdragons and I can bring this back towards the front. So I've pushed that nice and firmly down into the floral foam so that it's secure, and should a customer want to buy this, I know it's not going to fall out. And if you look at it from the back, because that big palmate leaf is at the back, it's hiding the packing tape, so it's lovely and neat and presentable for somebody. And you could recreate this at Mother's Day. You could buy some heart shapes to go on the back of the design, and it will be quite easy for you to replicate this for Mother's Day. So I hope you've enjoyed that one. Bit different this week. Gorgeous design, suitable for Valentine's Day with a different theme to it than your normal red roses. And don't forget, if you're enjoying, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new tutorial. And I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye for now.